Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. It is January 28th, 2026 at 8:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are going to do the stock market open. I am so excited because today is a crazy day. We had Asml reporting this morning going absolutely ballistic. We got the FOMC meeting. Jerome Powell's going to speak later on this afternoon. And we have the Magnificent Seven, at least a big portion of them, reporting at the close. And we're going to cover it all. If you would like to tip me, give me a big tip. Give me your tip, baby. Or you have any requests, that's my Venmo link. Or you can super chat because I am desperate for the money. Now, let's go ahead and see what's going on in the stonk market. We love to see day-to-day fluctuations. So how are we looking in the pre-market? Well, it looks like small caps are up 0.43%, flirting or actually slightly exceeding all-time highs. We got VTI, the U.S. Total Market Index, up 0.27% in the pre-market. Everything's green. Everything's fun and exciting. We got VOO, the S&P 500. Looks like it's breaching all-time highs, up 0.20%. We got VT, the Total World Index, continuing to burst through all-time highs. When is it going to stop? I don't know. We got the Total World Index up 0.31%. How wonderful and amazing. QQQ, the Qs, MAG7, up 0.80% in the pre-market. Are we at all-time highs? I think we are. I think the Qs are at all-time highs as well. We got China in the pre-market up 1.62%. And we got the total international. This is all international stocks, up 0.42%. So mostly green in the pre-market. Now, it's got the Dow Jones here in the red, but I do not believe that it is actually in the red in the pre-market. We will see, but I believe this is not updating. So yet another day of green. Everything's at all-time highs. How fun and exciting. I wonder if we could say the same about cryptocurrency. Crypto's in the green. Oh, my God. So exciting. All right, we got Solana here trading at 127.15 in the pre-market, up 0.4%. MicroStrategy in the green, up 1.4% in the pre-market, trading at 161.58. Even Trump coin is in the green. I've seen nothing but red. Ever since I started doing this, I've seen nothing but red for Trump coin. Trump coin is up 0.84%. Ethereum has broken through 3,000, currently trading at 3,035.28, up 1.3%. Bitcoin breaking 90,000, trading at 90,110, and rapidly increasing from there, up 1.4%. Dogecoin, our favorite crypto. This is going to make everybody a trillionaire. Trust me, bro. Up 1.63%. XRP up 1.7%. ADA Cardano up 2%, slightly over 2%. And Bitmine Immersion, even Bitmine Immersion is up. Everything's green in crypto. Green market, green crypto. Can we get some red, please? All right, let's check out large cap tech. Now, we got a lot of earnings coming in today, and we're going to try to cover all the reports. So I think I'm going to start the market open a little late. Or, excuse me, the market close a little bit late today, because the earnings will hopefully drop right at the bell. We'll see. All right, so Tesla up in the pre-market slightly, up 0.5%. The earnings are today. Estimated earnings per share, 35 cents. So you pay $430 for the stock, and you get 35 cents a quarter. That's a good return right there, guys. Netflix down slightly, 0.2%. Not really changing much there. Meta's flat. Their earnings are being dropped. Today, estimated earnings per share, $8.22. Look at that difference there. Okay. Tesla, earnings per share, projected to be 35 cents. Meta, earnings per share, $8.22. And Meta has had growing revenues. Wow. Growing revenues, growing profits. But of course, I believe Tesla's trading at a higher market cap than Meta. Clown world. All right, AMD is up 1.58%, trading at 256 in the pre-market. Google Moogle breaking all-time highs again, up 0.36%, trading at 336.21 in the pre-market. Nvda, I think, are we breaking? We're not breaking all-time highs. No. Nvidia's starting to rally a little bit, up 1.73%, trading at 191.78. Apple down very slightly in the pre-market. Their earnings are tomorrow. Estimated earnings per share is $2.67. And Microsoft, I love it when it's soft, up 0.27% in the pre-market, trading at 481.88. Earnings expected today. And Amazon up 0.67%. Are we almost at all-time highs, or are we at all-time highs? It looks like we're almost at all-time highs. We're about $1 from all-time highs for Amazon, my Schlamazon. What an exciting market. Everybody's just getting rich because stocks just go up forever. All right. Let's check out the YouTuber stocks. Any utter annihilation here? Let me see if I can sort this by losers and winners. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. But anyway, all right. So we got Rocket Lab up in the pre-market very slightly, trading at 87.63. We got Ionic. Okay, we got a little bit of a rally in quantum computing. Ionic's trading at 45.99. Still pretty far off all-time highs. Grab these, you know what's up a little bit in the pre-market, trading at $4.73. Rigetti basically breaking even, trading at 22.35 in the pre-market. Palantir, Palantir's down slightly, down about 1%, trading at 164.15. High Tide. Oh, we got earnings tomorrow for High Tide. Estimated earnings per share, 0.0058 cents. Up 1.62%. SoFi earnings on the 30th. So that would be, what is today? Wednesday. So SoFi reports on Friday. Up 0.31% in the pre-market. Hood, like you're getting robbed in the hood. Hood's up 0.5%. Dutch Bros up 3%, trading at 59.15 in the pre-market. PayPal down again, down 0.74%. It just never goes up, bro. It just always goes down. Ugh, brutal. My 4 shares of PayPal, that $200 I have in there is just not good. All right, Hims is up 0.3%, trading at 29.77. Dave's up. Dave's been getting a little bit of a clapping recently, but nothing crazy. It's basically been trading sideways for the past 7-8 months. Dave's up about 1% in the pre-market, trading at 179.10. Duolingo continues to sell off. Joseph Carlson just getting an utter clapping. Just the clapping just doesn't stop for Joey Boy. Duolingo trading at 144.53 in the pre-market. Joseph, just stick to large cap tech, okay? It works better for your grift. And Reddit is down 0.43% after selling off about 8 or 9% yesterday because of concerns about slowing advertising growth. And YouTube apparently taking search for AI from Reddit. I don't know which is better. They're both bad. What stock should I buy? AI searches YouTube. You're cooked. All right, bonds. We got TLT down about 0.4%. So we got a slight bump in treasury yields, long-term treasury yields this morning. TLT at 87.45. TLT it's just having a rough time, guys. It's just having a rough time. This is why you don't buy super ultra long-term bonds in a freaking low rate environment. This is what happens when you do that and then rates go up. BND, the total U.S. bond index, had a decent rally ever since 2022 because of rate cuts, but down ever so slightly in the pre-market. And then, of course, SGov, which is short-term treasuries, which I have a lot of money in. Not specifically SGov, but in short-term treasuries. Barely moving as it's wont to do. Commodities. Silver up again. Silver's up 1.47% again. Just keeps going up, bro. I don't know when it ends. Keep shorting it. USO oil up just about 1%. Better go fill up your gas tanks. And gold, once again, breaching all-time highs, up 1.72%. So we continue to have a rally in precious metals. Just crazy. Doesn't stop. All right, let's look at the sectors in the pre-market. So information technology is up about 0.8. It's all-time. Is that all-time highs? That can't be all-time highs. Actually, it looks like it is. Wow. Vanguard Industrials up 1.14%. It's about 0.4%. Financials down about 0.5%, and healthcare down about 0.5%. You see, guys, this is why you focus on total return and diversify. Even in sectors, you should be diversified, because we know healthcare got absolutely clapped yesterday because of Medicare Advantage. All right, Dave. We got Dave. We already looked at Dave. Silver short. If you decided to 2x inverse short silver, you're down 2.35% in the pre-market. Just getting utterly annihilated. Okay. Chips. What's going on with the chips here? All right, we got CoreWeave continuing to rally because of the Nvda investment. They need the cash. CoreWeave is up 3.7% in the pre-market, trading at 112.91. Microdong continuing to burst through all-time highs, trading at $423.50 a share in the pre-market, up 3.25%. Intel also rallying, up 4.53%, trading at $45.92 in the pre-market. Asml, they reported earnings this morning, and they are up just under 5%, trading at all-time highs in the pre-market of $1,525. We will check out their earnings briefly in a little bit. Broadcom's up about 1.36% in the pre-market. We already saw Nvda. AMD up 1.5%. And Qualcomm been dropping for a couple days, down 0.5% in the pre-market. All right, let's go look at healthcare. Healthcare, are we still selling off? All right, Cigna's about 2.13%, trading at $264.32 in the pre-market. I was actually interested in Cigna a little bit. I was going to maybe put like $500 into it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep buying or holding my treasuries. We'll see. Cigna's down 2% of the pre-market. CVS, after getting absolutely shellacked yesterday, is basically trading flat in the pre-market. Elevance Health down about 4.31%, continuing to sell off. United Health flat, or actually up a little bit in the pre-market, trading at $284.44, up 0.62%. And Humana down about 0.5%. All right, well, we kind of covered why healthcare got shellacked, but we'll see what happens with government reimbursements and payments for Medicare Advantage plans. Maybe they'll adjust it from their extremely low proposed increase. We'll see. So that's the state of the market this morning. Both the indices and crypto are in the green. We just continue to hit all-time highs in the stock market, at least. And crypto is still a good amount away from all-time highs, but maybe they'll get back there one day. All right, so that's the opening of the market. Let's do some member-only comments, and then we're going to go check all our stuff. What's up, Internet Warrior Ryu? Hope you had a wonderful night's sleep. Someone says Armpit show is better. That's good. Go watch Armpit then. Can't wait to watch these live react streams when number go down. Oh, we're going to have a lot of fun. If there's a huge market correction, we're going to have a lot of fun. But we will see. All right, let's go ahead and see what's on deck for earnings today. So it's Wednesday, 28 January, 2026. We got Microsoft reporting at the close, $3.5 trillion market cap. We got Meta reporting at the close, $1.7 trillion market cap. Oh, Tesla's actually smaller market cap than Meta. Shocker. Tesla reports at the close. I'm very excited about that one. Asml, about a $500 billion market cap, a little bit more, already reported. We'll go check them out. We got Lam Research at the close, IBM at the close, GE Vernova at the open, AT&T at the open. Yeah, we got some big tech reporting. Starbucks. Let's go check out Starbucks. What's going on with Starbucks? I'm going to put Starbucks on the YouTuber stock. Let's see. YouTuber stocks. Starbucks, I'm so diverse. Yes, we're more diverse than you. Oh. Why can't I add this? All right, let me just look at Starbucks on the internet. Starbucks stock. Please be down. Oh, Starbucks is up 6.56%. I guess we'll go check out Starbucks Investor Relations. Let's see. Let me get this ready for you guys. All right. But before we do that, of course, we need to go look and see what Donald Trump posted on Truth Social. And we need to see some other very exciting news. Exciting! I'm so excited for Starbucks. All right. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So, what did Donald Trump post on Truth Social? It's actually very important. Okay, so 23 minutes ago, he starts tweeting about Mayor Jacob Frey in Minneapolis. Don't care. Tweeting about football, something about sissy kickoff rules. Oh, okay. Oh, this could be this could affect the stock market. A massive armada, an armada is heading to Iran. It is moving quickly with great power, enthusiasm, and purpose. It is a large fleet headed by the great aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln. Then that's sent to Venezuela. Like with Venezuela, it is ready, willing, and able to rapidly fulfill its mission with speed and violence if necessary. Okay, let's just be honest here, people. I don't think Iran and Venezuela are gonna go the same way. I'm just, that's my suspicion, but we'll see. All right. Hopefully, Iran will quickly come to the table and negotiate a fair and equitable deal. No nuclear weapons, one that is good for all parties. Time is running out. It is truly of the essence. As I told Iran once before, make a deal. They didn't, and there was Operation Midnight Hammer, a major destruction of Iran. Yeah, that's right. We completely destroyed Iran, bro. Didn't we drop some bunker busters, and we're not even sure if we actually destroyed the bunkers? The next attack will be far worse. Don't make that happen again. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He really is kind of a G, you know. He kind of just drops the hammer on people. All right, so we got an armada selling to Iran, so there could be potential drama with that in the future. Pay attention to oil. All right, okay, he's shilling people that are running for election. Okay, that seems to be all the excitement. A lot of shilling of people, and then an armada heading to Iran. All right, let's see poly market, see what's going on. Will silver hit blank by the end of January? What are the predictions on silver prices? So there's a 39% chance that silver is above 120, 8% chance that it's above 130, 3% chance that it's over 140 an ounce, and a 1% chance it's over 150 an ounce. Okay, so all the little traders over the next couple of days are betting on silver continuing to go absolutely ballistic. Bets on gold if it comes up. All right, there's a 99% chance that by the end of January, gold will be above $5,100. A 96% chance that 1 ounce of gold will be over $5,200. 83% chance it's up above 5,300, and a 15% chance that it's up to 5,500 an ounce. Oh man, exciting times. Everything's green. We'll see. So that's the current state of poly market. There's really not much on here today. No major changes. Okay, bets on Google. Will Tesla beat quarterly earnings? 22% chance. That's probably a pretty good bet to take, but I'm not encouraging you to take bets. Well, I highly doubt Tesla will beat earnings because all they do is suck and the stock continues to go up. Wonderful. What else do we have here? Anything exciting? Logan Paul's Charizard. Okay. Let's see. When are they anticipating the next rate cut? So less than 1% chance they're cutting rates today. March meeting, there is a 17% chance they cut rates. April, 30% chance they cut rates. And June, 72% chance. I think Jerome Powell is gone. When is Jerome Powell leaving the Fed? When is Jerome Powell's term up? Oh, my God. How many times do I have to do this? All right, bridge. I guess that counts as a bridge. I guess that is that a bridge? Okay, is that a road or a bridge? I don't know. Bicycles. Okay, I don't know if that counts, but we'll go with it. Oh my, am I failing this? Okay. When is Jerome Powell's term up? Come on. It's a simple question. Are we not going to get an answer here? Do we is this just confounding AI here? This seems like a very simple question. There we go. All right. Jerome Powell's 4-year term as chair is set to expire on May 15th, 2026. His separate 14-year term as a member of the board of directors ends on January 31st, 2028. Okay. While it is legally possible for him to remain on the board until 2028 after his chairmanship, Fed chairs have historically resigned from the board once their term as leader concludes. Wouldn't that be hilarious if he stayed on? Okay, so 72% chance we get a cut by the June meeting. Speaking of rate cuts, the FOMC is meeting in 5 hours, 6 minutes, and 19 seconds. This is still saying a 97% chance that they keep rates the same and a 2.8% chance that they keep rates or that they cut rates 25 basis points. All right, let's look at the dollar index. We got the dollar rallying. Uh-oh. This is bad for my international stocks. The dollar rallying about 0.5 percentage point today. Okay, nice little recovery there. All right, well, we will soon cover the earnings of Asml and Starbucks. Let's see if there's any other member-only comments before we do that. All right. Hey, somebody says it's Meat Breath's birthday. Oh, how wonderful. Somebody says my rear end has caused a lot of global warming today. Thank you for your insightful comment. Somebody says gold is already over 5,100 an ounce. We know. And then somebody says they hate those. All right. Well, let's go check out ASML's earnings. How exciting. All right, so ASML reports $32.7 billion total net sales and $9.6 billion of net income in 2025. So their net profit margin was almost 30%. That's a lot of profits, people. That's pretty profitable. ASML expects total 2026 net sales to be between $34 billion to $39 billion. That's a pretty broad range of sales, but at least it's a guide to the upside, or at least a guide for sales increases next year, with a gross margin between 51 to 53%. Pretty big variance there. All right, so Q4 net sales of $9.7 billion with a gross margin of 52.2% and net income of $2.8 billion. So their profit margin for this quarter was 28.8%, pretty solid. Quarterly net bookings of $13.2 billion. Backlog at the end of 2025 of $38.8 billion. ASML expects Q1 2026 total net sales between $8.2 to $8.9 billion, with gross margin between 51 and 53%. Still a large variance in total net sales. Okay. They announced a new share buyback program of $12 billion to be executed by December 31st, 2028. Have they been buying back shares a lot? Let's see. How their buybacks doing, bro? Let's see. Their share count should be on here somewhere. Yeah, they've been doing pretty consistent buybacks, about 1.5% a year over year. If you annualize it, not bad. So it looks like they had a brief pause back in, or they slowed down pretty significantly in 2024, but they've started to reaccelerate that. So they've reaffirmed their share buyback program. Okay. That increases your earnings per share as a shareholder when they're buying back shares. All right, let's go back and look. All right, figures in millions of euros. So in Q3 2025, they had 7.5 billion euros of sales. And in Q4 2025, they had 9.7 billion. Okay. Total net sales for 2025 versus 2024 showed an increase of, if my calculator doesn't keep going away, 15%. Not bad, not bad. New lithography systems sold units. They sold 94 units in Q4 of 2025. Used lithography systems sold. They sold 8. Okay. This is in comparison to last quarter where they sold 66 new units and 6 used units. New bookings up massively quarter on quarter. 13.15 billion euros of bookings in Q4 of 2025 versus 5.3 billion in Q3 of 2025. All right, so new bookings include all system sales orders and inflation-related adjustments, for which written authorizations have been accepted. Usually, how accounting works is you recognize the revenue when you deliver the unit, when you pass on control of the unit from the manufacturer to the buyer. So bookings just indicates future revenue. So really, once they get the bookings, they just have to control the cost for making the units, and they need to get the units out as fast as possible. And as soon as they deliver the units, they can record revenue. Gross margin, a slight uptick quarter over quarter at a 52.2% in this quarter. And net income, we already saw, of 2.8 billion in this quarter, with earnings per share of 7.35%. And they have ending cash and cash equivalents of 13.3 billion. They got a lot of cash. All right. Let's see. In the last months, many of our customers have shared a notably more positive assessment of the medium-term market situation, primarily based on more robust expectations of the sustainability of AI-related demand. I'm enjoying AI. It makes my thumbnails. It helps me analyze grifters' videos fast. It helps me find the most trending news in the last 6 or 12 hours. It's helpful. I like AI. I think it will increase productivity. It's definitely increased my productivity. It's making me more productive as I grift on the internet. Now, how I include this in tax preparation, I don't know, because I don't want to put clients' information into these online programs. I don't do that because I don't trust big tech with clients' personal information. So you don't have to worry about that with me. I'm still doing it old school, baby. Pen and paper or Microsoft Excel, mostly Excel. This is reflected in a marked step up in their medium-term capacity plans. Okay, so they're guiding for more demand. Therefore, we expect 2026 to be another growth year, largely driven by a significant increase in EUV sales and growth in our installed base business sales. We continue to invest in people and footprint. That's wonderful. Okay, so we saw the guide already for 2026, between 8.2 billion to 8.9 billion. Pretty broad. I bet you it'll be on the higher end. And they're guiding to maintain their pretty solid gross margins in the low 50s. R&D costs are guided to be around 1.2 billion and selling, general, and admin costs of about 300 million. All right. Pretty good. Updated dividend and share buyback program. ASML intends to declare a total dividend for the year 2025 of 7.5 euros per share, which is a 12% increase. Oh, I bet you the dividend boys are just creaming themselves right now. Oh, dividend went up. Oh. An interim dividend of 1.6 euros per share will be made payable on December 18th, 2026. Recognizing this interim dividend and the 2 interim dividends of 1.6 euros per ordinary share, this leads to a final dividend proposal to the annual general meeting of €2.70 per share. Oh my God. Woo! Now I have indirect exposure to ASML through VT. So I guess this is good for me. I'm getting my dividend, bro. Eventually, whenever VT pays out its dividend. I don't know if you guys knew this, but VT owns like most of the publicly traded companies. So you're actually getting those dividends because you own all the companies. They just get distributed on a quarterly basis. In the fourth quarter, we purchased about 1.7 billion worth of shares. The buyback program finished in December 2025, having repurchased a total of 7.6 billion euros out of the up to 12 billion program. So they used roughly 63% of their authorization to buy back shares. They announced a new buyback program to be executed by December 31st, 2028. We intend to repurchase shares up to an amount of 12 billion euros. But as we can see, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to buy back all of the shares or spend all of the 12 billion. Of which we expect a total of up to 2 million shares will be used to cover employee share plans. Yes, that's the cost of stock-based compensation, people. We intend to cancel the remainder of the shares repurchased. All right. So I think that's pretty positive news for AI, my hot guy. I mean, the big thing in the report was the customers have shared a notably more positive assessment of the medium term. I don't know what medium term means. Is that next month? Market situation based on robust expectations of the sustainability of AI-related demand. That's pretty positive. Okay. All right, let's go look at Starbucks. What happened to Starbucks? Unfortunately, Starbucks is rallying. I'm a little upset. I'm not a fan of Starbucks. I don't like Starbucks. I don't like their freak flags that they fly. All right. Q1 comparable store sales accelerate to 4% globally and in the U.S., led by transactions. Let's go back to Starbucks. Oh, my God. Honey, can you see me at Starbucks? Honey, we could make coffee at home, and it's like 25. No, I want my Frappe Laka Baka Mocha Macchiato for $8. Yeah. Get to work. Spend money on me. Why are you working so much? Oh, wait, buy me more stuff. It's chicks and soy boys going to Starbucks. Company delivers U.S. comparable transaction growth for the first time in 8 quarters. Oh, my God, they're turning around. Q1 consolidated net revenues up 6%. Are we getting a turnaround? Wow. GAAP earnings per share of 26 cents and non-GAAP of 56 cents. And they have 2026 guidance. All right. So global comparable store sales increased 4%, driven by a 3% increase in transactions and a 1% increase in the average ticket price. So more people are going to the stores compared to prior quarters. In North America, U.S. comparable store sales increased 4%, driven mostly by transactions and a 1% increase in the ticket price. International store sales increased by 5%, with a 3% increase in comparable transactions and a 2% increase in the ticket. China, big comeback. Comparable store sales increased 7%, driven by a 5% increase in transactions and a 2% increase in the average ticket. Okay, some positive news for Starbucks. Would never buy this company, though, ever. I mean, it's in VT, but you know what I'm saying. The company opened 128 net new stores in Q1, ending the period with 41,118 stores, 52% company operated and 48% licensed. In the end of Q1, stores in the U.S. and China comprised 61% of the global portfolio, with just under 17,000 stores in the United States and just over 8,000 stores in China. Okay, so revenues are up. GAAP operating margin contracted 2.9% to 9%, driven by labor investments in support of back to Starbucks and inflationary pressure. So they're still coming under some margin pressure because of wages and back to Starbucks. That, I don't know, that campaign doesn't seem to be working on me, people. I don't know about you. Largely driven by elevated coffee pricing and tariffs. Donald Trump, can we increase tariffs on coffee beans, please? Yes, I will gladly pay more money at the supermarket so I can see Starbucks stock sell off. All right, talking about tax rates here, that'll be volatile. Our Q1 results demonstrate our back to Starbucks strategy is working, and we believe we're ahead of schedule, commented Brian Nickel. It's great to see the sales momentum driven by more customers choosing Starbucks. And it's true, especially in China. Like, it's pretty solid. 7% sales growth with a 5% increase in transactions. China's the big doll here. All right, so looks like Starbucks is coming back a little bit. They trimmed a little bit of stores year over year in North America, but nothing crazy. Revenues are up in North America. Operating income is down, and margins are still coming under pressure. Okay. International operating margin is increasing. International operating income, of course, increasing. Revenue, solid growth. And they added about 700 stores overseas year over year. 3% increase in store count. Wow. International is kind of the shining light in Starbucks. All right, channel development segment. Let's see. 20% increase in net revenues and a 4% increase in operating income. But operating margin has dipped, unfortunately. Okay. Channel development segment revenues increased 20%, primarily due to an increase in revenue in the Global Coffee Alliance. How cheesy is that? Global Coffee Alliance. And higher revenue in our global ready-to-drink business. Oh, is that like the freaking Starbucks cold drinks in the supermarket? Yeah, I don't buy those. You know what? I like Black Rifle energy drinks. Like if I want a coffee cold energy drink, I usually go with Black Rifle. It's like comparable in cost, or it's even a little bit cheaper than Starbucks from my memory. And it's got protein in it, bro. And it's usually lower calorie. I try to avoid sugar. That's how you become an AmeriFat, is you drink sugar. Sugar is the devil. All right, company update. They announced an agreement to form a joint venture with Boyu Capital to operate Starbucks retail in China, marking a milestone. Okay, what else? Boyu Capital will acquire up to a 60% interest in Starbucks retail operations. Starbucks will retain a 40% interest in the joint venture and will continue to own and license the Starbucks brand. Wow, that's 60% versus 40%. In December, the company announced that Anand Varadarajan, Indian, I don't know, has been appointed Chief Technology Officer effective January 19th, 2026. The company announced plans to host the 2026 Investor Day. I'm totally not going to that. The event will be held in person and virtually tomorrow. And the board declared a cash dividend of 62 cents per share. Why? Can you recover a little bit more and then we'll talk about a dividend? So the dividend's payable on February 27, 2026 for shareholders of record on February 13th. The company has had 63 consecutive quarters of dividend payouts with a CAGR of 18%. Yeah, your earnings are not growing, at least recently, at a CAGR of 18%. Guidance for 2026, global and U.S. comparable store sales growth of 3% or greater. Okay, so we're guiding for positive sales growth, about the rate of inflation. Non-GAAP operating margin to slightly improve. What about GAAP operating margin? Non-GAAP earnings per share in the range of $2.15 to $2.40. And approximately 600 to 650 net new coffee houses globally, probably mostly global. All right, so it seems like a little bit of a turnaround for Starbucks. How exciting. All right, let's look at their net revenues. So 5% increase in revenues in company-owned stores and a 0.5% decrease in revenues year over year. For licensed stores, 25% increase in other revenues. That's probably their cold coffees in the fridge at the supermarket. Product and distribution costs are up 13% year over year, outpacing revenue growth. Store operating expenses up 8.3%, also outpacing revenue growth. Other operating expenses slightly down. Depreciation down about 1.6%. General and admin expenses down 4.1%. And total operating expenses up 9.2%. So while they're starting to grow revenue again, their operating expenses are still outpacing their revenue growth. Income from equity investees. These are businesses that they have investments in but don't control, up 30%. And operating income down 20.6%. So they're still coming under margin pressure. Interest expense up about 9.3% at $139 million for the quarter. Yeah. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. All right, let's do some member-only comments, and then we are going to close this out. Oh, God. Sounds like a past experience. What are we talking about here? Oh, God. Someone says, please watch Trade Brigade and get to his level. Who is Trade Brigade? Trade Brigade. I guess we can go investigate him. Trade Brigade.
I'm in the Trade Brigade. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to compete with Trade Brigade. Is this guy on YouTube? Wow, he's got 4.1 thousand subscribers. He's crushed watchers right now. Never heard of this dude in my freaking life. What is Trade Brigade, dude?
The most comprehensive technical analysis of the stock market on YouTube.
Tune in for pre-market prep Monday to Friday at 8:30 and 8:15 for special data releases by like CPI, PCE, and NFP. Okay, yeah, I'm not giving you trade setups. This is not the point of this market open, is to give you freaking trade setups. And have tech support send an invite to me on Discord as I am on a new computer. Tech support? I don't have tech. You think I'm paying for tech support? All right, let's see if there's any other breaking news. Let me update this in the last. Let's see if there's any news in the last 2 hours. Okay. Search. This is why I love AI, people. You want to see this? Look how wonderful this is, okay? If my screen opens, is it going to open? Thank you very much. All right, here are the latest updates. Trump threatens Iran. Trump warns Iran that an armada is heading their way. We saw that. Demanding a new nuclear deal. Keir Starmer, I believe he's the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Yep. Arrives in Beijing seeking a thaw in relations and new trade deals amid strained U.S.-UK ties. I thought we were all divesting from China, you know? Why? Yeah, let's just cut them off. We don't need their cheap goods, bro. U.S.-Iran tensions rise. We saw that. Venezuela quarantine. Following the seizure of Maduro, U.S. enforcement continues to clamp down on shadow fleet oil tankers near Venezuela. Yeah, all the videos of helicopters and soldiers or operators landing on oil ships, which are probably mostly Russian, continues. Greenland feud continues. The Greenland Prime Minister remains defiant as Denmark warns that the world order as we know it is over following U.S. pressure. Chinese-made humanoid robots are targeting the Middle East and U.S. markets, seeking to bypass traditional trade blocks. I would be a little bit concerned about having a Chinese humanoid robot, okay? Could you imagine having a Chinese robot and then we go to war with China, and there's literally a freaking robot in your house from a hostile nation. Yeah, that might have some security risks. I don't think I want a Chinese-made robot in the house with my kids. I guess I'll have to settle for the Tesla bot, Optimus Slime. All right. Okay. Gold driven by risk. HSBC reports that geopolitical risk is the primary driver pushing gold to record highs. Shocker. All right, let's see the stock market news. S&P futures rise to near 7,000. Okay. Asml surges. We saw they had a pretty good guide for the medium term. Nvda China approval. China approves the sale of Nvidia's H200 chips, sending the AI giant shares higher. Amazon is laying off 16,000 corporate workers in a major anti-bureaucracy push. Good. Good. But we knew that was coming. That was already discussed. LVMH plummets. LVMH shares plunge 7% as fourth quarter results fall behind competitors. Uh-oh. Is that Louis Vuitton? Microsoft earnings. Yep, we know that's coming at the close. Yeah, but Jerome Powell leaves in what, April? Despite strong earnings, GE Vernova down 4%. All right. Dollar hits 4-year low, but it's not. People are like, oh, everybody's selling off the dollar, bro. I mean, it's not in historically. It's not in like a massive down if you look at it historically. The dollar has been a lot lower historically, and it's actually up slightly today. German government slashes 2026, 2027 growth forecasts. Okay. China has built a record trade surplus by fostering non-U.S. partnerships, despite the America First agenda. Well, I guess our trade war completely failed. EU-India trade deal. We knew that. Okay. 2020 picker market. Analysts from Piper Sandler advise that 2026 will favor stock pickers. Oh, shut your mouth. They always say that. Why do they say that? Because they want you to buy their freaking analysis. Oh, it's a stock picker's market, good sir. Yeah. Buy my alerts, bro. Okay, so that's the news. Mostly stuff we already didn't know. All right, any other member-only comments? The members aren't showing up this morning. I'm a little upset. I'm a little sad. I feel abused this morning. Hi, a Chinese robot could be a landed soldier in a war. It goes straight to your weapons arsenal and neutralize. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have a Chinese robot in my house. All right, I'm going to take a quick winkle, and then we are going to watch the market open. And then I'm going to the gym. Stand by. I'll be right back.
I think it's time we put his channel in the grave. Dude is such a clown. Dude's the biggest meme. Planet 13 got him having wet dreams. The only thing he made his trip to next was his mortgage. He's gonna have to sell his Teslas in his storage. Tesla, then admit you got lucky. Your morals are yucky. $60 monthly from some sucker in Kentucky, making a few thousand monthly. You think robbing people of their savings is funny? Financial education, more like chronic masturbation. Fuck that noise. Listen to my proclamation. Buy BT, buy BT, buy BT, buy BT. Buy BT, strong man, that's my wicket, and we buying all day. Buy BT, buy BT, buy BT, buy BT, buy BT, buy BT, strong man, that's my wicket, and we buying all day. BT, my BB. Fuckwin Resort, more like Lou's Resort. Tattoo chef, elf on a shelf, suck a dick. Corsair, your bitch got coarse hair. Yeah.
Made it back just in time. All right, let's go ahead and watch the market open. It is 9:20. We currently have 10 minutes. Oh, boy. Let's see if anything's happened with the indices. Oh, VXUS down in the pre-market. Uh-oh. It's probably because of the rally in the dollar. DXY, the last time we checked, was up about 0.5%. So, of course, if the dollar gets stronger, that has a negative impact on unhedged investments overseas. So VXUS taking a little bit of a breather this morning. China still showing up 1.4% in the pre-market. QQQ 0.67%. VT trading at 147.52 in the pre-market. Daddy just keeps hitting all-time highs. I need to do a portfolio update so I can brag about how rich I am during a crazy bull market. So we got VT up in the pre-market. VOO is up 0.2%. VTI total US still up about 0.23%. And small caps up a little bit more at 0.43%. Mostly all-time highs in the indices. Crypto. Oh, is Trump coin going in the red? How unfortunate. I actually had some hope for Trump coin rallying, but I'm just kidding. So Trump coin is now flat or in the red. We still got MicroStrategy trading at 163.42, up just over 1%. Dogecoin up about 0.75%. Ethereum still trading at about low 3,000s, trading at 3,018. XRP's up about 1%. Bitcoin dropping below 90,000. Uh-oh. I thought that was a psychological level, bro. Bitcoin up 1.2% in the pre-market, but still slightly under 90,000. And Bitmine immersion up about 0.4% in the pre-market. So mostly green for crypto, but nothing crazy there. Large cap tech, we still got Amazon up in the pre-market, about $2 from all-time highs. We got Microsoft up 0.36%. Apple, Microapple reporting earnings tomorrow, down about 0.71%, trading at 256.44. Nvda 191.50, up 1.58%. Googly Moogly still breaking all-time highs, trading at 336.37 a share. AMD's up about 1.41%. Meta up about 0.2%. Netflix down very slightly, and Tesla up in the pre-market. But of course, these could very rapidly change as earnings are announced. I can't wait to see what Elon Musk says to pump the stock. All right, any big movers in the YouTube stocks? Really nothing crazy here. Reddit's still down slightly, trading at 194. Dutch Bros up 3.74%, trading at 59.98. Still down pretty significantly. They ran up to $81.97 in February of 2025, but they got a long way to go. All right, SoFi earnings, what did we say? On Friday, up very, very small amount in the pre-market, but pretty close to all-time highs, right? Yep, we're definitely above the cloud market levels, okay? Nice little recovery in SoFi over the last couple of years after getting annihilated. I'm sure all the SoFi shills are just up massively on it. High Tide, earnings tomorrow. Palantir down slightly. How exciting. Bonds still down slightly in the pre-market. Slight uptick in yields. Gold up 1.7%. And silver up 1.6%. Just continues to go up. The sectors. Okay, nothing crazy really going on here. The biggest winner of the sectors today is industrials, up 1.14% in the pre-market. Biggest loser is consumer staples, down 1.13%. Uh-oh. All right, chip stocks. Let's see. Mostly green in the chips and AI-related stuff. CoreWeave up 5%. Microdong breaking all-time high, still up 3%. Intel rallying up 5.6% in the pre-market. ASML actually, they had a nice little rally in the morning, but now they're only up 2.7%. So still in the green, but not a crazy move like we originally saw. Broadcom is up 1.22%. Nvidia's up. AMD's up. And Qualcomm is down. Qualcomm. And healthcare. Let's see. A little bit of red, but nothing crazy. We'll see what happens with Medicare Advantage. All right, we got about 4 minutes till the market opens. Let's see if there's any comments we can address here. Drago, what's up, bro? How's it going? Hope you had a wonderful night's rest. I actually woke up early. I keep waking up at 6:45. I set my alarm for 7:45. I keep waking up at freaking 6:45. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I think my schedule adapted to my kids because my kids are always freaking getting up early. Greystone says Strongman needs a desk bell to ring the opening. Yeah. No, we welcome the opening with a powerful Ryu. Come on, Spy X 7K today. We'll see. I don't know. Bold Sign says, would this be considered the Super Bowl of the finance world when Q4 financials are released? I mean, when you're looking at when all the large tech is reporting, that's where everybody's the most interested because large tech, everybody loves it. Why? They make a lot of money and they went up a lot. Drago says, is it hard not working today? Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. Nope, I'm going to keep myself busy. Gym right after this. Then we're making fun of Trey's trades. We'll see. Maybe I'll react to Jerome Powell, and then we'll have the market closed. I mean, I could do like a 4-hour live stream or 3 or 4 hour live stream, but I think I would be dead after that. We'll see. So maybe we'll react to Powell. If we do react to Powell, I guess we can hang out and wait for earnings to come out, but I don't know if I want to start live streaming at 1:45 and then wait till 4 for the market to close and then go through all the earnings. So I'd be streaming from about 1:45 probably till about 5 o'clock. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling this afternoon. We'll see. But no promises there. We'll definitely cover earnings, though, because, you know, everybody loves freaking big tech. Oh, God. I already had 2 cups of coffee, and I'm still freaking tired. I keep waking up early. Jeez. Oh. All right, let's go stare at the market. We got about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. All right. I just get bored by green days. It's like, oh, the market's up again. It's more exciting and entertaining when you see the market start to collapse and everybody panic. And when that happens, oh boy, I'm going to have so much fun. We could be waiting a long time for that, but when that does happen, Daddy is going to have a good time seeing all the clowns panic. I can't wait for the day. Please, somebody, bring the collapse. All right, 55 seconds. Everybody brace yourselves. I'll check my email. Let's see. Yeah, I've been pretty good on the tax front. I closed my first local client yesterday. Pretty solid revenue generated from that local client. Most of my clients for my tax prep are not in Virginia, but I was able to finagle one. So I'm excited about that. All right. Looks like we're slightly green in the open. Man, look at this. Oh, no. VT's pairing off. It's green. Dang. All right. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go, people. The market's open. All right. Any last minute member comments? If not, I am going to the gym. We open at 7,002 for the S&P 500. How exciting! All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the market open. Like, subscribe. Consider joining as a member to support the channel. Also consider booking a free, and I mean free, 30-minute tax consultation with me. I am a certified public accountant and would gladly do your business and or personal taxes any state in the United States. You can talk to me for free. I give you upfront fixed quotes, and I'll prepare your taxes like a boss. You can book a free 30-minute consultation in the pinned comment below at the conclusion of this video. It is free, completely free to talk to me for 30 minutes. On top of that, if you refer clients to me, I'll pay you $50 per referral. So if you refer one client to me, that's $50. If you refer 10 clients to me, that's $500. And there's no limit. There's absolutely no limit. So book a free consultation, send your family, send your friends, send everybody to daddy, and you might be getting paid, baby. All right. I'll see you guys at 11:30 or noon to make fun of Trey's trades. Cheers.